The lights inside the America's Got Talent theater dim just a little, and before anyone even steps on stage, you can feel it, that quiet tension that comes right before something unforgettable happens. The kind of moment where you lean closer to your screen without realizing it. And trust me, if you've ever doubted that one performance can change a life in seconds, this is the story that will prove you wrong. Before we begin, if stories like this touch your heart, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel, because moments like these deserve to be shared with the world. When the curtains part, a slim young man walks out slowly, dressed in a simple black outfit with a fedora held close to his chest. His name is Daniel Reyes, a 22-year-old performer from a small coastal town in the Philippines. His eyes scan the massive theater, the roaring crowd, the judges' table, Simon Cowell, Sofia Vergara, Howie Mandel, and Heidi Klum all watching him carefully. Daniel swallows hard. This stage is bigger than anything he has ever known. Bigger than the dusty basketball court where he first danced. Bigger than the cramped living room where he practiced moves in front of a cracked mirror. Bigger than the dreams he once whispered to himself when the power went out at night. When Simon asks him why he's here, Daniel's voice shakes, but he doesn't look away. He talks about his father, a fisherman who never returned home after a storm, and his mother, who worked double shifts just to keep food on the table. He talks about growing up with nothing but music to escape the silence of loss. And then he smiles softly and says, "Michael Jackson saved me." The audience murmurs. Simon raises an eyebrow, curious but cautious. Michael Jackson tributes are risky. Everyone knows that. The expectations are brutal. As the music begins, the opening beat of a familiar Michael Jackson track echoes through the theater, and for a split second, the crowd holds its breath. Daniel stands perfectly still. Then, suddenly, he moves. Not just dancing, but transforming. His feet glide across the stage with a smoothness that seems unreal. The moonwalk isn't just copied, it's lived. His spins are sharp, his pauses dramatic, his timing flawless. But what truly hits the audience isn't the technique. It's the emotion. Every move feels like a story, like pain and hope woven into rhythm. The judges lean forward. Sofia's mouth slowly opens in disbelief. Howie starts smiling uncontrollably. Heidi's eyes sparkle. And Simon doesn't blink. He watches intensely, searching for flaws, for cracks. But Daniel gives him none. As the song builds, Daniel adds his own style, blending Michael Jackson's iconic moves with Filipino street dance influences. It's fresh. It's bold. It's risky. And it works. Halfway through the performance, the music softens. Daniel slows down, his movements becoming smaller, almost fragile. On the screen behind him, images appear, waves crashing, a simple wooden boat, a young boy dancing barefoot. Daniel drops to his knees, reaching upward, as if calling out to someone who can't hear him anymore. The audience is silent now. You could hear a pin drop. Some people are already wiping their eyes. Then the beat drops again, stronger than before. Daniel explodes back into motion, full of power, full of fire. It's not just a tribute anymore, it's a message. He's saying, I survived. I'm still here. The final pose hits perfectly, and the music cuts. For one long second, there's silence. And then the theater erupts. A standing ovation. Screams. Applause that feels like thunder. Daniel stands there, chest heaving, eyes wide, almost confused. He bows his head, overwhelmed. When the judges finally speak, Sofia is the first. Her voice cracks as she tells him she felt his heart in every step. Howie calls it one of the most emotional tributes he's ever seen. Heidi says he honored Michael Jackson while still being completely himself. Then Simon speaks. The crowd quiets instantly. Simon admits he was nervous when Daniel mentioned Michael Jackson, because it's been done so many times before. He pauses, looking directly at Daniel. But, he says slowly, I didn't see someone trying to be Michael Jackson. I saw someone using Michael Jackson to tell his own story. Daniel's eyes fill with tears. Simon continues, this is exactly why this show exists. Without another word, Simon reaches forward. The moment stretches. Everyone knows what's coming, but no one dares to breathe. Simon slams the golden buzzer. Gold confetti explodes from the ceiling, raining down like a dream. The crowd loses its mind. Daniel freezes, hands shaking, then collapses to the floor, sobbing uncontrollably. Judges rush the stage. The music swells. Somewhere in the audience, a Filipino flag waves proudly. Daniel looks up through tears, gold falling all around him, and whispers, "Salamat, thank you." As the confetti settles, you realize you didn't just watch an audition. You witnessed a life-changing moment. A young man who danced through grief, poverty, and doubt, and turned it into something beautiful. A reminder that talent is powerful, but heart is unstoppable. And if this story moved you even a little, make sure you hit like and subscribe, because there are countless untold stories like Daniel's waiting to inspire you. Sometimes, all it takes is one stage, one song, and one brave soul to remind the world that dreams, no matter where they come from, are always worth chasing. The theater lights dim slowly, not all at once, but in a way that makes the air feel heavier with every passing second. The crowd settles into a restless silence, the kind that hums with expectation. Somewhere in that darkness, millions of viewers lean closer to their screens, not knowing yet that they are about to witness a moment that will stay with them long after the music fades. This isn't just another audition. This is the kind of story that reminds you why you fell in love with talent shows in the first place. And before we go any further, if stories that touch the soul, inspire hope, and prove that dreams are still alive mean something to you, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel, because moments like this deserve to be remembered and shared. When the spotlight finally clicks on, it reveals a young man standing alone at center stage. He looks small compared to the massive set around him, but there's something steady in the way he stands. His name is Daniel Reyes. He's 22 years old, born and raised in a quiet coastal village in the Philippines where the ocean is both a blessing and a curse. He wears a black jacket, slightly worn at the edges, a white glove tucked into his pocket, and a fedora held gently in his hands. His fingers tremble, just a little. The judges watch him closely. Simon Cowell sits back in his chair, arms crossed, his expression unreadable. Sofia Vergara smiles politely, trying to put him at ease. Howie Mandel leans forward, curious. Heidi Klum tilts her head, already sensing there's more to this young man than meets the eye. The audience applauds, but it's a soft applause, cautious, as if everyone is waiting to see what kind of story Daniel will tell. When Simon asks him where he's from, Daniel answers simply. His accent carries the warmth of home and the weight of struggle. When asked why he chose America's Got Talent, Daniel takes a deep breath. The pause stretches just long enough to make the room quiet. Then he begins to speak, not like someone chasing fame, but like someone finally being heard. He talks about his childhood, about growing up in a small wooden house near the shore. He remembers waking up before sunrise to the sound of waves and his father's voice humming old songs while fixing fishing nets. His father loved music, especially Michael Jackson. On an old DVD player that barely worked, they would watch grainy videos of concerts, rewinding the same dance moves again and again. Daniel learned to dance on sand and concrete, copying reflections in dark windows when mirrors weren't available. Then his voice changes. He talks about the night the storm came. About how his father went out to sea and never came back. About how the ocean that once gave them life suddenly took it away. Daniel was only 12. From that day on, everything changed. His mother worked tirelessly, his older siblings took whatever jobs they could find, and Daniel danced, not for applause, but for survival. Dancing was the only place where the pain softened, where grief turned into movement instead of silence. When Simon asks what he'll be performing, Daniel answers honestly. A tribute to Michael Jackson, he says. The crowd reacts immediately. Some cheer. Some murmur. Everyone knows how risky that choice is. Michael Jackson is a legend. Imitations fail more often than they succeed. Simon raises an eyebrow, clearly skeptical. He's seen countless tributes, many of them forgettable. The music cue is given. The stage goes dark again, and the opening notes begin soft at first, familiar, almost haunting. A single spotlight illuminates Daniel's shoes. He stands still, completely still, letting the music breathe. In that silence, you can feel every heartbeat in the room. Then he moves. Not rushed. Not forced. His feet glide across the stage as if the floor itself is carrying him forward. The moonwalk is effortless, smooth, respectful. The audience gasps softly. It's not just accuracy, it's control. His body flows with the rhythm, shoulders popping, head snapping, arms cutting clean lines through the air. Every move is sharp, intentional, yet full of emotion. As the tempo builds, Daniel's confidence grows. He spins, lands perfectly, pauses at just the right moment. But then something changes. This is no longer just Michael Jackson. Daniel begins to blend his own style into the performance elements of Filipino street dance, traditional rhythms woven subtly into the choreography. It feels new, personal, alive. The judges are no longer casual observers. Sophia's smile fades into a look of pure awe. Howie's mouth hangs open, his eyes shining. Heidi presses her hands together, leaning forward. Simon sits up straighter, his expression intense, focused, searching for flaws and finding none. Midway through the performance, the music softens. The lights dim to a cool blue. Daniel slows down, his movements becoming smaller, more fragile. On the screen behind him, images appear, a stormy sea, a small fishing boat, a boy dancing barefoot on wet sand. Daniel's face tells a story words never could. He reaches outward, as if calling to someone beyond the stage, beyond time. The audience is silent now. Not even a cough. Not a whisper. Daniel drops to his knees. His shoulders shake. The choreography becomes raw, stripped of flash, filled with pain. He beats his chest once, twice, then slowly rises. This isn't just dance anymore, it's mourning, memory, and healing wrapped into motion. Some people in the crowd begin to cry. Even the judge's eyes glisten under the lights. Then the beat drops again. The music explodes with energy, and Daniel explodes with it. He launches into powerful footwork, sharp spins, fearless jumps. The sadness transforms into strength. The boy who once danced to escape pain now dances to conquer it. Each move feels like a declaration, I am still here. I survived. I matter. As the song reaches its climax, Daniel hits a sequence so clean, so electrifying, the crowd begins to cheer mid-performance. He finishes with a final pose, head down, one arm extended, frozen in time. The music cuts. For one long second, the world stops. Then the theater erupts. The audience leaps to its feet, screaming, clapping, shouting his name. Daniel stands there, stunned, breathing hard, his eyes wide with disbelief. He bows his head, overwhelmed by the sound, the lights, the energy. He wipes his face, trying to hold back tears. Sophia speaks first, her voice trembling. She tells him she didn't just watch a performance, she felt his soul. Howie calls it unforgettable, saying it's the kind of act that reminds him why he loves the show. Heidi tells Daniel that he honored Michael Jackson beautifully while still being completely himself, and that's something very few performers can do. Then Simon speaks. The room quiets instantly. Simon admits he was worried. He's seen so many Michael Jackson tributes that promised greatness and delivered imitation. He pauses, choosing his words carefully. Daniel, he says, what you did tonight was different. Daniel looks at him, barely breathing. You didn't try to be Michael Jackson. You used Michael Jackson to tell your story. And that takes courage. Simon leans forward. The crowd senses what's coming. The tension is unbearable. Without another word, Simon slams the golden buzzer. Gold confetti explodes from above, pouring down like a dream made real. The crowd loses control. Screams echo through the theater. The music swells. Daniel freezes, then collapses to his knees, sobbing openly. His hands cover his face as years of struggle, sacrifice, and silent hope come rushing out. The judges rush the stage. Sophia hugs him tightly. Howie pats his back. Heidi wipes tears from her eyes. Simon stands, watching with a rare smile, one of quiet pride. In the audience, flags wave, people chant, strangers hug each other. Somewhere among them, a Filipino mother cries, seeing her own child's dreams reflected on that stage. Daniel looks up through the falling gold, his face wet with tears, and whispers thank you not just to the judges, but to his father, his family, and the boy he once was. In that moment, he isn't just a contestant. He's a symbol of what happens when talent meets heart, when pain is turned into purpose. As the confetti settles, one thing becomes clear. This wasn't just a golden buzzer moment. It was a reminder that dreams don't belong to one country, one language, or one background. They belong to anyone brave enough to chase them. And if this story moved you, inspired you, or made you believe just a little more in the power of dreams, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Because somewhere out there, another Daniel is dancing in the dark, waiting for their moment to shine, and stories like these deserve to be told.